Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the Browns, you know that this season has been a roller coaster, full of ups and downs, uncertainties, and hope. And right now, the biggest question mark isn't just about the upcoming game against the Steelers, or how the defense will hold up. No, it's about Deshaun Watson. Will he return this season? When will we see him back on the field? These are questions that every Browns fan is asking, and let's be honest, it's been a tough road for Watson so far. He's been sidelined since October 2024 after suffering a torn Achilles, which is one of the most serious injuries a quarterback can face. And then, just when everyone thought he was on the mend, he faced a setback in January, necessitating a second surgery. That's a lot for any athlete, especially at this level, where the difference between winning and losing can be a matter of inches or seconds. The Browns, as of now, haven't given us a concrete timeline for his return. Watson started the season on the reserve, physically unable to perform list, which is standard for players coming back from such a significant injury. He's served his mandatory 4-game absence, but that doesn't mean he's ready to rejoin his teammates just yet. The team has been cautious, and rightly so. This isn't just about rushing a player back onto the field. It's about ensuring he's 100% healthy, both physically and mentally. The decision now hinges on whether the Browns will open that 21-day practice window for Watson, which is a crucial step in the process. If they do, Watson can practice without it affecting the roster, giving him a chance to demonstrate his readiness. But as of now, the team has decided not to open that window this week. This decision isn't made lightly. Browns reporter Scott Petrak shared that Watson remains on PUP as he continues his rehab from not just one, but 2 ruptured Achilles tendons. That's a significant injury, one that requires patience and meticulous recovery. If the Browns decide against opening the window, or if Watson isn't medically cleared in time, he'll remain on PUP and be ineligible to return this season. And that's a tough pill to swallow, especially considering the Browns' aspirations this year. Let's take a step back and analyze what's at stake here. The Browns already have a solid quarterback situation with Dillon Gabriel, a young and promising talent, and veteran Joe Flacco providing veteran leadership and stability. Shedeur Sanders has also been part of the mix, showing flashes of potential. But the big question remains, what does this mean for the future? Cleveland holds 2 first-round picks in the 2026 draft. That's a significant asset, and the team is clearly evaluating their options at the most critical position in football, quarterback. If Watson can't return, or if he's not the same player after his injury, the Browns might have to consider the future more seriously. Watson himself has been vocal about his determination to come back stronger than ever. He's been posting on social media, showing off his recovery process, and expressing confidence in his work ethic. In one recent clip he said, "Everyone is doubting me. Everyone don't believe in me. Everyone don't think I can get back to where I was. But I know, and I believe the work that I put in, that I believe in myself, I know I'm gonna be way better than before." That kind of mindset is exactly what you want from a leader, especially a quarterback who's supposed to be the face of the franchise. But at the same time, reality has to set in. The NFL is a brutal league, and coming back from a second Achilles injury is no small feat. Medical experts, coaches, and team management are all weighing whether it makes sense to push Watson now or to wait for next season. And that's where the Browns' strategy gets interesting. They've already made a quarterback change in Week 5, starting Dillon Gabriel in place of Joe Flacco. Gabriel stepped in admirably, passing for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns in a close 21-17 loss to the Steelers. The young quarterback showed poise, avoided turnovers, and managed the game well, traits that are vital for a team that's still figuring out its identity. Head coach Kevin Stefanski praised Gabriel's performance, emphasizing that while there's room for improvement, The young QB displayed a lot of positives in a tough environment. That's a promising sign for Cleveland fans who are eager to see the team develop a reliable offensive core. Looking ahead, this divisional matchup against the Steelers is critical. The Browns need to keep pace in the AFC North, and Gabriel's continued development will be a key factor. The team is clearly prioritizing stability and growth, especially with Watson's uncertain future this season. The fact that Cleveland is considering the evaluation of rookie passers like Gabriel and Sanders shows their focus on the long-term plan. If either of these young quarterbacks can step up and perform consistently, it will simplify the Browns' quarterback puzzle moving forward. But if Watson eventually returns, even for a handful of games, it will add an extra layer of complexity to their assessment. It's worth noting that Watson has been showing resilience and a fierce desire to come back. Despite the setbacks, he remains committed to regaining his form and proving doubters wrong. His social media posts reflect that attitude, believing in his work, trusting the process, and aiming to be better than ever. But the reality is, with his entire 2026 salary guaranteed, the Browns face a difficult decision. Do they wait for Watson's full recovery, risking missing out on this season's playoff push? Or do they move forward with Gabriel or Sanders, building for the future? It's a strategic dilemma that could define the franchise's trajectory for years to come. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The Browns are no strangers to quarterback drama. They've had their share of ups and downs over the years, but what's different now is the level of investment in Watson. $230 million guaranteed, a contract that comes with enormous expectations. That kind of contract puts pressure on the organization to see results, but it also means they have to be cautious, especially with an injury as serious as an Achilles tear. The team's medical staff and front office are working closely to determine the best course of action. And in the meantime, Dillon Gabriel has stepped in and shown he can hold his own. Gabriel's performance against the Steelers was promising, especially considering the circumstances. His calmness, decision-making, and ability to protect the football are qualities that the Browns can build around as they continue evaluating their options. Kevin Stefanski has emphasized that Gabriel's growth is a process, and he's optimistic about his potential. That's good news for Browns fans who want stability at the quarterback position, even if it's not the superstar they envisioned when they signed Watson. The NFL is a league of patience, and sometimes the best move is to develop young talent while keeping your options open. But let's not forget, Watson's return, if it happens, would be a major boost for the team. Imagine the impact of having a fully healthy Watson leading the offense, making plays with his arm and legs, and providing that veteran presence that can elevate the entire team. His leadership and talent are undeniable, and if he can get back to his previous form, the Browns could become real contenders in the AFC. Still, that remains a big if, especially given the re-rupture of his Achilles this offseason. The team's cautious approach is understandable, but it leaves fans wondering, when will we see that Watson we all hoped for? As we look to the rest of the season, the Browns are balancing short-term needs with long-term planning. Their approach to Watson's recovery reflects that careful strategy. They're aware that rushing him back could do more harm than good, but they're also acutely aware of the window of opportunity to make a real playoff push. With the AFC North being one of the most competitive divisions in the league, every game counts, and the team needs to maximize its chances. Meanwhile, Gabriel and Sanders are gaining valuable experience, which could pay dividends down the line. The Browns are essentially preparing for all scenarios, whether Watson returns late in the season or they have to look to the future with their young quarterbacks. And so, Browns fans, the story continues to unfold. The coming weeks will be critical. Will Watson eventually get cleared and step back onto the field? Or will the team decide to prioritize their long-term vision, focusing on development and draft assets? Whatever happens, one thing is clear. The Browns are in a transitional phase, and their decisions now will shape their destiny for years to come. The AFC North is fiercely competitive, and every win or loss could be the difference between a playoff season or another year of rebuilding. But one thing remains certain. This franchise is determined to rebound to compete, and to finally bring a championship back to Cleveland. Now, before I wrap up, I want to remind you, pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Geo ahead, IT's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on the situation? Do you believe Watson will get back on the field this season? Or are you more confident in Gabriel or Sanders taking the reins? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of this team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Keep that passion alive, and let's see this team rise together, no matter what the future holds.